Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lorena and today I'm going to be showing you how to start a Vinted platform from scratch. So I recently built my Vinted in about 3 months and I currently have 36 5-star reviews. So every single review that I have has been 5 stars. So these are my credentials. Look at this. Yeah. So I'm gonna be showing you how I did it and how you can do it too. So I wrote down a bunch of notes that I'm going to be giving you today, and all of these are very, very important when it comes to having a successful Vinted account. This is my handle if you want to check out my Vinted. I thrift a lot and I also clean out my closet. I definitely have a specific style, so you will notice that a lot of my clothes follow a certain style. So with the first thing I'm going to start with is you need thrifting experience, such as going to Goodwill bins and also finding your style. So I'm going to start with thrifting. Now with thrifting experience, you need to have experience thrifting. Now you can choose to go to bins or you can choose to actually thrift at your local thrift store. Now, a lot of people are gonna ask, which one do I do? You know, what's the difference between doing the bins and a thrift store? So a thrift store, you actually are paying $5 or $10 or $15 for one item. And you can get up to 15 items each for $5. Now at the Goodwill bins, you have a large number of clothes, and then you weigh it per pound, and usually it's about 0.95 cents or $1.30 per pound or per 2 pounds or whatever. Now this is a personal preference. What I would do is try each thing, keep trying new things. I personally think that when it comes to having a successful e-commerce platform, you need to do exactly what you feel is gonna work for you. So try different things, and whatever makes the most sales, you keep doing that. So for me, I have found that thrifting, surprisingly, makes more money for me. And why is this? Because when I go to the bins, a lot of the times there's a lot of stains on the clothing. And the things with stains is that you cannot make sales when it has stains. You can technically, but it is very difficult. It has to be a very popular and very loved item for it to be sold with a stain. The reason that this is because the bins are a big place where they essentially just throw a bunch of clothes together. And the difference is that at a thrift store, they actually sort out the items. They only take the clothing items that are in perfect condition. So technically, it's their business. They are doing the exact same thing as us. So they are taking clothing that is in perfect condition and selling it to the public. Now they still sell it for about $5 to $10, which is still very, very affordable. So it's their win and our win as well. Now, if you feel that you are good enough at thrifting, I would recommend going to the bins because it is a higher marginal profit. If you are willing to spend hours and hours at the bins so that you get more marginal profit, you are gonna have to make sure that the stuff doesn't have stains. You're gonna have to make sure that you have a lot of time to put into going to the bins. So that is what thrifting experience entails. Now, when it comes to finding your style, my personal opinion is that resellers that are trying to make it on an e-commerce platform need to have their own style. And I'm not saying that you need to stick to a specific era or a specific aesthetic. I'm saying that you need to be knowledgeable about clothing. You need to be knowledgeable about brands. You need to be knowledgeable about trends, what people love right now, what's trending on TikTok, what's trending on Instagram. Check platforms, do research. We have artificial intelligence. Everything is accessible. You can just do research, ask AI, what is trending right now? What is the best thing to sell right now? What do I look for? Because the main thing about thrifting is you want to have a vision for the kind of things that you want to buy. Another thing, the reason why I say you need to find your style is because I personally think that when you go to a thrift store, you pretend that you're getting things for yourself. Why? Because the only way that you are going to be able to sell an item is if you love it yourself. Because you cannot make a sale if you are not passionate about an item. Now, yes, you can do research and see if it's a very high-end item. And in that case, you can sell it. But a lot of the times, it's very hard to understand an item if you don't personally love it and you don't know about the item. I've found myself thinking that an item is gonna sell just because it has a higher price. But that actually isn't the case. When I love the item and I see the potential of it on me and in my life, usually that actually sells better. I'm not sure why, but that's personally what's worked for me. Now, when you're starting on Vinted or Depop or whatever platform you want to start on, you want to make sure to start at low prices. When you are first starting on a platform, you haven't built credibility yet. And when you haven't built credibility, people are going to be reluctant to buy from your store. So the main thing that you want to build in the beginning stages is reviews, 5-star reviews. Now, how are you going to get 5-star reviews? Fast delivery and consistency. You need to be consistent. You need to post often. You don't need to post every single day, but it also depends how much money you want to make. I don't believe that you have to spam your account with a bunch of clothing every single day. If you don't do this, you're not going to be successful. No, I don't believe that. I believe that overall consistency is going to form trust and it's going to bring people to your page. And you're gonna gain followers and you're gonna gain reviews, and that's when you start to gain that credibility. Now onto the photos. Photos are important. I'm going to show you exactly what I do to make photos such as these for Depop and Vinted. It has a very personalized background. I have an image for it. I sort of match the background to the style of the clothing, and that adds personality. I am going to show you guys exactly how I add the background to my photos, and I do that using Depop, and then I usually go from Depop to Vinted. Now, this is completely a personal opinion. You do not have to follow this. A lot of people say post on all platforms. Post on Facebook Marketplace, post on Depop, post on Vinted, post on eBay. For me, that's not what worked. For me, I personally think time is your biggest asset. And I don't think that's the case. When it comes to taking photos, adding backgrounds, adding lighting, writing descriptions, seeing what's trending, and of course, thrifting the item, finding the item, going through your entire thrift store. All of this takes so much time. And when you are focused on putting your product on every single platform, and that's 5 platforms, you are essentially promoting one item, one singular item, and taking the time to post it on so many different platforms. And now personally, I do not think that is the method. I think the method is you try all the platforms at first and then you find what works for you. What platform do you have success in? What platform do you get views? Do you get sales? Do you get negotiations? Do you get messages? And then stick to that. So when I found myself posting more items, because I wasn't spending all that time posting on 10 platforms, I was more consistent. I was posting more items and I was making more sales, and that was Vinted. And now I only focus on Vinted, and I've made about $300 to $400. A lot of people are very confused on how to figure out the price for an item. Now, this is very important because if you have too high of a price, they won't buy it. Too low of a price, you're gonna undersell yourself. So what you wanna do is you want to send this over to AI. This is what's worked for me. I send it over to AI and I say this: do research across all platforms, and then list all the platforms, Vinted, Depop, etc. Do research on this exact item and what all the people are selling it for, and give me the average price. Now, the reason I say you need to price it based on the average is because people are only going to compare the item as to what the item is according to other people. So if they see that your item is $25 and someone else's item on the same platform is $35, they are gonna choose your item instead of theirs. Or someone's gonna buy their item as well as yours because you meet that average mark. So you're not adding in a huge number that no one's gonna buy. Now, when you are doing those descriptions, you wanna make sure that you are including the style and the era. So I actually have a perfect example of this. I had a movie inspired piece of clothing, and that was a Jennifer's Body puffer jacket. So this is what it looked like. I found this at the thrift store and immediately I saw my vision. I saw that this looked exactly like Megan Fox in Jennifer's Body. Now, this is a jacket that people are talking about all over social media. This is a jacket that people love and they have been trying to find for a long time. And I was able to sell this jacket for a great price. This item costed me $5 and I made a profit of about 3 to 4 times that. Also, another thing is you want to make sure to make the amount of money at least double of what you paid for it. So if you make $5, you want to make sure to make $10 at least. That is a great way to measure if you're being successful when you're selling your products. Now, when we're on that topic of pricing and money, I want to get into a very important part. So you want to make sure to have a spreadsheet where you are tracking your finances and specifically revenue minus expenses. This is very basic. What you're buying it for, what you're selling it for, profit. And you need to track this over all your clothes to see what you're making weekly. If you're losing money, you want to make sure to reassess what you're doing, what platform you're using, what to improve. If you're making money, amazing. Okay, now we're getting to the last couple of tips. So you want to make sure to negotiate popular items and know your worth. So something I used to do when I was first starting is that when an item would blow up, I would get excited and I'd be like, wow, so many people love this item. I want someone to buy it immediately because I had that dopamine rush of I'm so excited to sell this item. So I would lower the price immediately so that the people that were liking it would just click buy. But that is a common mistake. When you are selling on platforms, you want to leave the most popular items and stay firm with the price. Yes, you can go maybe $5 down or negotiate the price a little bit, but you never want to drop your price when there's a lot of people that want it, because that is exactly where you're going to make your money. The popular items is where you're going to make your money. Another detail about this is people that lowball you. There's going to be a lot of people that lowball you, and you need to know the worth of your items. You need to be confident in your items. And this goes back to having your own style. So you need to know your worth. And when you know your worth, you're going to make more money. So don't sell yourself short. And you need to know the timing as to when you need to lower your price and when you need to keep the price where it is. Now, when do you lower your price? So you usually have to lower your price when you're not getting any views, you're not getting any saves, and overall just the item isn't popular. So what you do when this is the case is you want to lower the price as well as boost the item. So this gets into the boosting. Now the reason I don't use Depop is because my items don't push unless I boost it, and they take so much of the profit. Now Vinted barely takes profit and I get practically all the money. And that's why you want to make sure to boost only the items that are unsuccessful, because this will push it out, and the ones that you're already getting views on, you don't need to boost. You don't need to take away some of that profit if it's already getting views. Now onto the final and last thing is mannequins and lighting. Now in the beginning of my journey, I did not have a mannequin. Shout out to my friend Linda. She gave me a mannequin that I love and I use. You don't need to have a mannequin. You can use your floor, you can use your blanket. It really doesn't matter, especially if you're using the Depop trick. And lighting. You want to make sure to have great lighting. don't have a dark room, and make sure that your item is perfectly flat. Make sure your item has no flaws. Make sure that you take photos of the flaws if there is any, because if there's any flaws that you haven't documented, you're going to get a bad review, and it's also just not a kind thing to do. Don't sell items that have stains on them. Don't sell items that have holes in them if you are not going to be honest about it. I am very honest and upfront about my items, and that is why I get great reviews. I get 5-star reviews because things come exactly how people knew they were gonna come. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope this helped any aspiring entrepreneurs that really want to start up their own business and just find a side hustle. This is an amazing side hustle that I just grew to love, and I'm really happy that I have. So this is gonna be wrapped up. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next.